Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. We're back to regular time after I was on in the afternoon yesterday. So welcome back in, guys. I appreciate you being here, whatever time zone you're in. So whether you are in the future or you're stuck here with me in Mountain Time, I do appreciate you. Yeah, he did. Phil Collins did not need to go this hard on the Tarzan soundtrack, but he absolutely the fuck did. So, and we appreciate him for that. Absolutely. But welcome in, everybody. Let's make sure over here on TikTok that we are doing all of the good things. Tap the screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. If you're watching, I am multi-streaming, so if you're watching over there on the YouTube, if you could like the stream as well, that would be wonderful. On Twitch, you guys are just doing wonderful. I see you over there. Hello. So you guys can go and follow me, subscribe, join a membership, do all of the fun things over there as well. So guys, make sure you're tapping over here, okay? I would appreciate well, even if you're tapping, you can't see it. Hold on. Your bar is going to fill in a second. Hold on. It's got to catch up. I forgot to click it. There it goes. So that you can watch your progress. I have the roses up there as my goal. It took us an hour to hit 100 roses yesterday. Can we please not do that again? It made me very frustrated. It made me very bitchy. I don't like to be bitchy, but I'll do it again if I need to. So let's get those accomplished. Help push us on the algorithm. I have 100 left. Duh. We're just starting. I have my 100 goal that I have every single day. This is my job, guys. This is how I pay my bills. This is how I save money for a fucking car so that I can stop borrowing my brother's. It would be wonderful if we could get that accomplished. I would appreciate it very, very, very much. The links to help out with that are in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. Guys, even if we do a dollar train, we get that accomplished. That would be fucking awesome. But yeah. I'm still not in a great mood, though, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna do the thing. We got an outline. We're gonna have the conversations if we can have them. Remember that. Okay, Justin, I've got you. If you would like to call in and have a conversation based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings, you can do so, 509-795-0412. But just remember that if I ask you why you're still supporting Trump and you say a reason, then we're going to get into the facts of that reason and not just your feelings on it. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you bouncing all over the place. We fucking W's to Justin for being such a fantastic mod. We appreciate it. How am I a Nazi, Sean? Already. You support Trump, but I'm the Nazi. How? Again, you can call in the number to get that, to have that conversation. Explain to me how I, as a leftist progressive, am a Nazi. Sure. But we're going to start our day. We can start out with, how do I want to start out with this? Let's see. Let's go to, let's start out with TPUSA. TPUSA happened. An event for TPUSA happened. And it did not go well. Let's start out with, I guess, this part of it first, was probably what we should start out with. So this was the event that J.D. Vance went to for TPUSA, for TPUSA. Yay. You guys are winning. You guys are doing so good. So good. Yeah, for toilet paper. TPUSA. Doing so good. Here, so there's that one. Let's do this one. This is while he's speaking.
A little bit. It doesn't bother me when he speaks on issues today. Frankly, even when I disagree with how he's applying particular principles. So
it's going very, it does look empty. It's going very well, it seems. And just, one more for good measure, because the third time is the charm.
So, I think Andrew and Blake in the podcast that they have at TPUSA is amazing.
Yeah, it's so amazing you can't fill a fucking stadium. Front runner in 2028. Yeah, so great. Vance is gonna be so good, guys. I'm so scared of what Vance is gonna do in 2028. Sure. But let's get to that. It did not go well for him. So let's see. How do I want to start this? He was confronted about Gaza. This is a relatively long clip, but he was confronted about Gaza. You supposed God-fearing people that you are.
So the Pope said something where he said, and I'm going to
I'm going to try to remember the exact quote, but he said that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword. God is never on the side of those who wield the sword. I'm pretty sure that he said that exact statement. Now,
Thank you to Thank you, Olive, for raiding me over on Twitch. I always forget that that's my raid sound on Twitch. It scares the shit out of me every time it happens. But thank you so much. I appreciate that.
on the one hand, again, I like that the Pope is an advocate for peace. I think that's certainly one of his roles. On the
Hi, Lainey. How are you?
other hand, how can you say that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword? Was God on the side of the Americans who liberated France from the Nazis? Was God on the side of the Americans who liberated Holocaust camps and liberated those innocent people from,
But then the argument becomes, are you liberating the people in Iran? Is that what you're doing? Because I don't think that that's the same thing. I don't think that that's the same thing. How can you equate those two? But don't worry, it's not just me. He'll get his comeuppance. But before we do, Kelly, why do you do this to me? So MBM, Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for the 2185 in the Blue app. I appreciate you so much. That gets us a great fucking start on our goal today, except it makes me have to do math. And I think Kelly knows that, and that's why they wanted to torture me. And you know what? That's okay. Because you must have got the word from Steve that that's what we do here, is that we torture Monaco with numbers. So thank you for that. It's going to bring us down to 7815. No, I didn't do that in my head. Suck it. Didn't happen.
those who had survived the Holocaust? I certainly think the answer is yes.
So somebody is yelling, well, you support genocide.
And I agree. Jesus Christ does not. I agree. Jesus Christ certainly does not support genocide. Whoever yelled that out from the dark, he certainly does not. I think that's pretty easy.
You're right. Jesus doesn't, which is why the Pope is then saying maybe God, who, if you believe in the Trinity as you should as a good Christian, that Jesus himself would also not be on your side with what you're doing in Iran.
That's a pretty easy principle. Okay, so here's a guy. Let me just say this.
Why is Trump, maybe not the administration, maybe it's not the administration because they can't control people at this point. Why is Donald Trump threatening to destroy an entire civilization? Why is he threatening genocide? And then you want to sit here and say you have God on your side. You do not have God on your side when you have a man who says an entire generation, an entire civilization will die tonight. Don't fucking flaunt your bullshit faith in my face. I read the book. I read Red Letter Jesus. He wouldn't support what you're doing. Right, yeah, the fact that half that tiny crowd is against him, I showed you what it looked like. It was empty as shit, and they don't like you. 2028, JD Vance, it's going well.
This is a guy. No. First of all, random dude who's shouting, can I finish my point and then I'll respond to what you just shouted? Is that okay? Okay, great.
Yeah, can we give him 1 second to answer this?
Number one, when the Pope says that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword, there is more than 1,000-year tradition of just war theory. Okay? Now, we can, of course, have disagreements.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. Just remember it.
It's about whether this or that conflict is just, but I think that it's important, in the same way that it's important for the Vice President of the United States to be careful when I talk about matters of public policy. I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology. And I think that one of these issues...
The Pope. I didn't think that, hey, leftists, did you think we would be here? Did you think that we would get the Pope in the divorce? We got the Pope in the divorce. I have to defend religion now. The Pope should be careful when he speaks about theology. The man who has divinity from God, the man who speaks to God, he speaks to God. The drumming hamster on top of his head is sending me Olive. Redoes bingo card. The Pope who speaks to God should be careful how he speaks on theology.
As a recovering Catholic, as someone who has grown up and I've had to put the Pope at a high level in things, I have written letters to the Pope many of times growing up as a kid. What the isn't Vance Catholic?
And he just wrote a book called what is it called? Pathway to Faith or something. Hold on, we'll look it up. JD Vance. The fuck is it called? He just wrote it. Like, he just wrote a fucking new one. Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith. Oh, it's not even released yet. Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, June 16th of 2026. He found his way back to faith by going against the leader of your church?
It's, again, I will always say this. Christians don't like Catholics. Do people know why Christians don't like Catholics? Anyone? Anyone? Does anyone want to take a guess?
Bueller. I don't know.
Because when you see white, when you see white Christian nationalists, that's not Catholicism. I'm not saying Catholicism doesn't have any ties to white nationalism, but when you look at the Catholic Church, and I'm not putting the Catholic Church in a high light, fuck any like building that tells you how to think and feel about your religion and your faith. What I'm saying is the Catholic Church, as much as they don't necessarily teach from the Bible themselves, the doctrine does not align with white supremacy.
It's just, yeah. And I'm going to let him repeat that because that was wild. W. Rhett, though. So we've had W. Kelly's and now W. Rhett for the $5 on the PayPal. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't think, did you write a message? I think you just sent, no, you didn't write a message. Next time, write me a message, Rhett. You've sent me a couple PayPals before and I don't get a message from you. Unless you don't want to and you just want to be anonymous, and that I appreciate. But W's, thank you. I appreciate you.
Don't flirt with her, though. Don't flirt. That's my job.
Says that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword. There is more than 1,000-year tradition of just war theory. Okay? Now, we can, of course, have disagreements about whether this or that conflict is just, but I think that it's important, in the same way that it's important for the Vice President of the United States to be careful when I talk about matters of public policy, I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology. And I think that one of these issues here is that there has been, again, hey, random dude screaming, I told you I'd respond to your point. I just want to respond.
Except you're literally not. He's waiting for you to respond to the point.
On to this question first. But I think one of the issues here is that if you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth. And that's one of the things that I try to do. And it's certainly something I would expect from the clergy, whether they're Catholic or Protestant. Now, to respond to this guy here, he said, I believe he said the administration supports a genocide in Gaza. And here's my response to that. When we came in, the humanitarian situation in Gaza was an absolute catastrophe. You know who's the person who got a peace agreement in Gaza? Donald J. Trump. So,
you know who else got a peace agreement in Gaza, which we call a ceasefire? Biden. You know who else exchanged hostages during that ceasefire that then Israel broke? Biden. This is not an award or a trophy that I'm going to give him. I am glad that they were able to exchange some of the Palestinian prisoners for the Israeli hostages that Hamas took, and including the bodies of the people they killed, who were not involved in this. They were not part of the Israeli government. They shouldn't have been involved in it. I can absolutely agree to that. I don't give him a trophy for doing the same thing other presidents have done. He didn't end anything. Israel is still bombing Palestine. Children are still dying. He doesn't get a participation trophy. Neither did Biden. Biden didn't end anything.
If you want to complain about what happened in Gaza, so if you want, sir, to complain about what happened in Gaza, why don't you complain about Joe Biden and the last administration? We're the administration that solved that problem.
You didn't solve it. They're still bombing children. You didn't solve anything.
And by the way, not only was our administration like the administration that solved the problem, but the president. Excuse me, sir. Right now, you see more humanitarian aid coming into Gaza than it has any time in the past 5 years.
Are those flotillas making it in? Which are, by the way, private citizens choosing to do this. It's not coming from our government. Where is their aid going to Gaza from our government? I want to see it in legislative form. Show me. Show me where we are sending aid to Gaza.
Do you remember during the Biden administration, the only way we would send any form of aid to Israel is that if we send something to the Gaza Strip? You remember that?
Yep.
You remember when the Biden administration created a temporary pier, I believe it was in Jordan, to where we could send and ship aid to the Gaza Strip? Huh.
Only people I know trying to get through are flotillas that are private citizens, privately funded organizations, and they're not getting through.
Because we have taken that situation seriously. And that's one of the things that I'm proud of about our administration is whether it's there or Thailand and Cambodia, we have consistently tried as much as we can.
Tried. Oh, participation trophies again. Tried.
And to solve these problems, not just complain about them like the guy who just ran away angry.
He's not complaining. He wants you to fix it. You didn't fix it. You're going to do this and go, it's fixed. And just ignore everything that's actually happening. Absolute bullshit. You know what else is bullshit is the love that you guys give me. Thank you, Dragon Scales, for the 346 on the Blue app, saying, "Yep, math can be fun."
Everyone knows that I don't do well with math.
I can do it. That's not with that one. I can't.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yep, I can with this calculator. I asked.
God damn it, I can't flirt.
Oh, that's why it's fun. Good job, Dragon's Kelt. I take everything back that I said. I'm very proud of you. You guys ready? I take it all back. Beautiful job. Beautiful job, Dragon's Kelt. 69.
Insight. That erection.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Damn, I wish I got 69 like that.
Okay, so from there, what I want to do is to go to more about faith. So we're going to jump around a little bit here. So this was that same day, that same event. Vance is talking about a person named James Dobson and his influence on Vance's life. Again, this is just to critique that you guys think that you are some Jesus-loving Christians and you're just not.
There was actually a radio host, a guy who founded this organization called Focus on the Family, James Dobson, who was really influential to me.
Really influential to you. Well, let's get to a lovely little clip from James Dobson, shall we? This was James Dobson on the radio. This was after Sandy Hook. And he's going to tell you why we deserved it, why it happened. This is why Sandy Hook happened.
About the fact that our country really does seem in complete disarray.
Yes.
I'm not talking politically. I'm not talking about the result of the November 6th election. I am saying that something has gone wrong in America, and we have turned our back on God. I mean, millions of people have decided that either God doesn't exist or he's irrelevant to me. And we've killed 54 million babies. And the institution of marriage is right on the verge of a complete redefinition. Believe me, that is going to have consequences too. And a lot of these things are happening around us. And somebody's going to get mad at me for saying what I'm about to say right now. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I think we have turned our back on the Scripture and on God Almighty, and I think he has allowed judgment to fall upon us. I think that's what's going on.
So what he's saying is that he believes, because at that time when Sandy Hook happened, and the idea of same-sex marriage, things that were changing at the time, we went through Sandy Hook because of the consequences of us wanting to allow people to love who they want to love.
Yep.
So again, Trump supporters, when you hear something like that, do you not get infuriated?
And that guy was influential to J.D. Vance. You just heard him say it. He was very influential on him. We love that. Justin for the 202. He said, because people will want 6969 to stick. So when you changed it to, you're going to make me do this now? Really? This is what we're doing?
Justin, I swear to fucking Christ.
67.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
But it's okay. It's not going to stay there for very long because apparently Justin and Keith had the same idea, W's to Keith, for the 202 in PayPal for success. Unfortunately, Keith, I saw Justin's first, so we don't have to sit on 67 for much longer.
I can't.
Why are you guys like this?
Do I look like a joke to you?
Yes, I think they just like to torture you. They like to torture me with math, but they like to torture you with what my math turns into, I think. Guys, can we get these roses accomplished, please? I need like 80 more of them, a little less than 80 more. Little less than 80, Jesus. If we could get those accomplished, that would be fucking wonderful. Make sure we're doing all of the good things. Keep tapping that screen. You guys are doing wonderful so far at tapping that screen. We should hit like 25,000 at 10:30 because I want to hit 50,000 by the top of the hour. So we should be able to do that. So thank you guys so much. Again, remember, if you are hate watching over there on the YouTube, you can call into the stream and have conversations based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings. A man is here. Why would a man be there? Hello?
Wait, hang on.
Wild
I know how to
Chicky-
fix this. I know how to fix this.
I apologize.
No, you're fine.
Okay, while Chicky is in our beautiful state, she needs to share her location with someone so we can tell the focus on the family has not got her.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
We focus on the family is here in Colorado. So we got to make sure Chicky does not get kidnapped by focus on the family. We're not quite done with religion. So then Mike Johnson, who says, you know, I don't think he's Catholic, but he is a devout Christian nationalist.
Baptist. I think he's Baptist.
Is he Baptist? That's a shocker.
I think.
He talked about the Pope as well. So we'll get to that. Why are you guys like this? What am I doing now? Okay. Keith sent 22 cents for May the Numbers Be With You. I have to, hold on. I don't, why?
Sorry, check the blue one.
65.42. Am I supposed to know what that is? Thank you, Keith. And thank you, Ari, for the 65 cents. Ari uses pocket change, causes 65 DMG. What does that mean?
DMG, damage.
Oh, damage. Oh, because it would have took it out. I got you. But now I have to do math. You guys kill me. Why?
See, I get the $5.99 towards the end of it. Oh, Pokemon. Ari said Pokemon.
Didn't see the I need to have the bar, the HP bar, or else I don't understand. I don't understand. But thank you to Keith. Thank you to Audie. I appreciate you. So Mike Johnson is also going to talk about the Pope. Because, you know, they can't help it. Because the religious leader spoke out. Is that you echoing?
I
think you're echoing. So it's hard to hear, but they're asking him about Trump criticizing the Pope.
President Trump and Vice President Vance's comments about the Pope.
Listen, I'm not one to criticize clerics and religious leaders. We defend free speech, and we certainly defend the right to the free exercise of religion. And, you know, a pontiff or any religious leader can say anything they want. But obviously, if you wade into political waters, I think you should expect some.
But there was a but to that.
political response, and I think the Pope's received some of that. I was taken a little bit aback, just honestly, frankly, by something that was said. I think he said it several days back that something about those who engage in war, that Jesus doesn't hear their prayers or something. It is a very well settled matter of Christian theology. There's something called the just war doctrine. There's a time to every purpose
Again, Vance mentioned it. Mike Johnson mentioned it. We will get into it in just a moment.
Under heaven. I think what the president's comments, what the vice president's comments reflect is their understanding deep in the skiff and the classified briefings of the stakes that are so high and the situation that we're facing and the fact that you had the nation that was the largest sponsor of terrorism now having had that ability taken away from them. That means potentially millions of innocent people will be able to keep their lives and not be killed by terrorists. That's a good thing.
We don't have proof of that. You can't determine that. You have no clue. Actually, if anything, what we know from history is that all you have done is radicalized an entire new generation. That's all. Audie, where are you? Are you here, Audie? Sandwich is here. Oh, bye, Sandwich. Remember.
Are you tired of seeing Ruben, aka Sandwich, in the chat? Are you tired of seeing his completely idiotic takes? Or maybe you want to contribute to his degradation kink. But remember, we don't kink shame, but it's totally fair to kink ask why. Or maybe you just want him to shut the fuck up. Well, you can keep him muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month from now until whenever we fucking feel like.
And remember, that also applies to anybody else that you would like to mute in the chat, not just Ruben. He just gets his own special announcement, which, thank you, Eli, for that announcement. I also have the generic one saved, not on my Stream Deck, but I do have it. Thank you.
That's what's come out of this, okay? So I don't want to engage in a theological debate with the Pope. I certainly respect the Pope. I would just say that these are matters that people of good faith and good sense can debate and think through, and I think that's what that reflects. Yes.
That the vice president and the president attacked a religious leader, but claimed to be about religion. Well, since J.D. Vance and Mike Johnson both brought up the just war doctrine, okay, it's not just war, it's a just war, right? The scales of balance. This is most of what I found when I went to look this up was actual debate on it. So even then, this idea that it exists and them trying to there's something in my eye today, I don't know what it is. Them trying to bank on it is hilarious because there is even theological debate on the just war doctrine within the church. So it's not something that's set in stone within the church because there is debate about it. But the closest that I can find is this. This is from Catholic.com, Catholic Answers. So they're saying what qualifies as a war that is moral to wage, right? The Catechism of the Catholic Church lays out the conditions for just war in paragraph 2309. The damage inflicted by the aggressor on the nation or community of nations must be lasting, grave, and certain. Obviously, that's something happening. All other means of putting an end to it must have been shown to be impractical or ineffective. Already we have a problem because what we saw from negotiations, and again, this was after we already did Midnight Hammer, which we were negotiating. I don't know if people remember before Midnight Hammer, the leaders in Iran were negotiating, and they were specifically in, I can't remember what country they were in, but they were negotiating, and Israel bombed the building they were negotiating in. The Ayatollah himself and the top leaders were not there. One of his sons, I believe, was, but he was not there. So they were in the middle of negotiations when Israel bombed them that time, and then we did Midnight Hammer. And then after Midnight Hammer, we were negotiating again, and what we were getting from the foreign minister of Oman, and from British intelligence, from our intelligence, Qatar, thank you, Audie, I knew you would know, from the foreign minister of Oman, the British intelligence, our intelligence, and Pakistan, the Pakistani government was saying is that Iran was willing to give up all of its nuclear enrichment and all they wanted was stuff to be able to use for energy, but that all of it would be stockpiled in a different country of their choosing. So they would not have it in-house anymore. They would get what they needed to use for electricity in their country, but they would not hold on to it. That was active negotiations ongoing when this happened. When Israel decided they were going to attack and the U.S. decided we're going to be Netanyahu's bitch and also attack. So no, even if there is a just war doctrine from the church, Vance, all means of putting an end to it must have been shown to be impractical or ineffective was not happening because the negotiations were progressing and moving forward. So no. There must be serious prospects of success. I don't know where we're seeing that, where there's going to be success. All we have done is made a mess, another mess in the Middle East. Do the top leaders need bottom leaders? Maybe power bottom leaders, dysphoric? Probably. Only power bottoms. And the use of, okay, this is the one I want you to pay attention to. Because we argue this all the fucking time. You say they're terrorists, they're horrible people, the regime is awful to its people. Okay, sure, I agree with you. Do we expect better of ourselves? Because the church does. The use of arms must not produce evils and disorders graver or greater than the evil to be eliminated. The power of modern means of destruction weighs very heavily in evaluating this condition. The evils that we produce must not be graver than the evil we are trying to eliminate. If Iran is so terrible, they're so awful to civilians, why are we also being awful to civilians? Because that is not what the doctrine says. So don't use it. Don't use religious doctrine as a way to justify your attack on the Pope and your way to justify killing people, civilians, who have nothing to do with the IRGC in Iran. Stop it. Stop using your religion as a cover for being a hateful fucking bigot. I'm tired of it. So sick of it. But apparently Donald Trump's not done being a fucking, idiot with what he does with y'all. I don't understand why you guys aren't done with him after him posting himself as the Pope, him posting himself as Jesus, a doctor. And then we got this one. So he retweeted, okay? So here was the original post. I was never a very religious man, but doesn't it seem, with all these satanic, demonic, child-sacrificing monsters being exposed, that God might be playing his trump card? And Donald Trump retruthed it with, the radical left lunatics might not like this, but I think it is quite nice, President Donald J. Trump. How many times can he spit in the face of your religion that you don't read? It's true. You don't follow your religion. You don't follow the teachings and the love of Jesus Christ, our Savior. You don't do those things. I understand that. But I just thought I'd point it out some more to you. How much of a piece of shit this administration is and how they use religion. Pete Hegseth is using religious scripture to justify bombing civilians in Iran. You guys are broken. But let's get back to JD Vance, because what else is he covering up? Go back. Let's see. No, I was going to play the whole thing of this one. He's going to contradict the acting DOJ here, which is going to be interesting. When he's asked, guys, we didn't forget. We never forgot. We will never forget. And we will keep talking about it. While we're sitting here, guys, thank you so much for getting to 30,000 likes. I appreciate you so much. We're definitely on our way. So let's get to 50,000 likes while we're sitting here with 114 of you in here. I appreciate it so very much. If you haven't done your daily heart me or shared it out to 5 friends, you can repost it, add it to your story. That would fucking be wonderful. No, it's not. It kind of does look like him. Although I think I just saw a story posted in RTPs this morning that he got into a crash in Miami, I think. But they do all tend to look the same. But thank you, I appreciate it. There's only 33 of you on the YouTube. I don't know, I'm just not hitting the algo over there, and that's totally fine. But for those of you who are over there, and if you would like to, if you're a Trump supporter and you would like to have a conversation, again, 509-795-0412, you absolutely can call in and have a conversation based off of factually based evidence and not your fee-fees. I would love to do that. But JD Vance has asked about Epstein. We're not going to forget. We're not going to stop. You guys want to keep covering it up. The President of the United States wants to keep covering it up. If you want to say that the Democrats didn't do anything about it for that amount of time, totally, you can say that the Democrats didn't do anything about it for the last 4 years, the last 10 years. I don't care what you want to say. Go get them. Why isn't Donald Trump doing it? Why are they covering it up? And W's to Juicy Juice Godfrey for the $2 for Shut Up Sandwich. I will add another day onto his penance. Thank you, W's to Juicy Juice Godfrey.
President Trump multiple times called the files a hoax. The acting attorney general said Epstein shouldn't be a part of anything at the DOJ. If there are compromised government officials in those files, how can the public trust that this administration will hold anyone accountable when its own Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation? Given that, can you clearly articulate your stance on whether federal entities should have a formal investigation? Thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, you said the Associate Attorney General or something. I haven't seen that quote, but here's my view on the Epstein matter. Number one, the guy was clearly a scumbag. Okay. Number two, he clearly had extraordinary connections, both with intelligence services, both inside the United States and outside the United States, and also with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people. Okay. Number three, I have been a firm advocate and will continue to be a firm advocate of where we have something. And you know, like, I'm probably more obsessed with this than most officials, okay? Probably more obsessed with this than most people even in this room.
I've literally never heard JD Vance talk about the Epstein files. What do you mean? You're more obsessed than anybody? I've literally never heard him talk about it. Yeah, also land the plane. What he's doing is filibustering to not get to the answer. You want to say that he was a scumbag? Absolutely. We all know he was. Why did Donald Trump in the 2000s say that he was a good guy? They have a lot of things in common.
Is when you see somebody who says something in an email that suggests, you know, there's one email I read, and it's been a little while ago, but it was talking about, you know, one person sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein saying, oh, there were some really nice, like, pizzas and grape sodas or something like that. And I remember it sounded like the Pizzagate conspiracy theory.
So, of course, of all that we have gone through, I don't know how long I did. Was it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I did segments on going through the Epstein files, going through the emails? Of course, the one that JD Vance knows about is the fucking conspiracy theory shit that I won't even fucking engage in from people on the left or the right. Because there was a lot of people on the left doing that. It is bad enough that we know what he did to children. It is bad enough. But for some reason, the left decided they were going to take that to meaning that also people were eating children, which there's no fucking proof of. It's already bad. We don't need to add more to it. It's bad enough. But of course, the one that JD Vance got out of it was Pizzagate, which was debunked. But what he's saying, roundabout way, is something that I have said even when we covered emails and stuff in the files, correct? Is that emails that tie people in, including Melania, who decided to speak out, doesn't necessarily prove guilt. It doesn't. What it does is warrant an investigation, and that's all we're asking for. One, follow the goddamn law. Follow the Epstein Transparency Act and release all of the fucking files. Two, investigate. We know that there were Democrats involved with Epstein. Why aren't they investigating? Why hasn't the DOJ subpoenaed anybody? Why haven't they talked to the survivors? Go get them. They're actively covering it up, and I will show you that because acting AG Todd Blanche will talk about it after this clip, but how they're done. They're moving on, which is where JD Vance is actually going to disagree with him here about investigations based off of emails.
But here it was in like an email from a guy. And my reaction to that was, we should absolutely investigate that person. Okay. And
so why aren't they? Can you tell us that part, Vance? Why aren't they? If they are so committed to protecting our children and to protecting our people and getting criminals, getting pedophiles, why aren't they investigating anything? We know why. Because it's not just people like Bill Clinton and Bill Gates who, like I said, go after them. But it's not just them, is it? No, your boss. Yeah, the President of the United States' name is all over that motherfucker. And that would also warrant an investigation. And you don't want that.
You know, you remind me, I'm going to follow up on that to see whether we've investigated that person because we should. We absolutely should. When you see evidence of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, regardless of whether you're powerful or not, in fact, you should probably investigate it more if you're a powerful person, right? I
agree, like the President of the United States. I agree, J.D. Vance. Wow, I didn't think that me and J.D. Vance would find some consensus here. You're right. I think you should investigate people, especially if they have power, including the power of the United States president.
I don't want powerful people, being involved in this disgusting behavior. But I have to defend the president on this because when he said that it was a hoax, what he was talking about was this democratic idea that he's connected to Epstein.
Is he not? Is he not connected to Epstein? That's not a hoax, Vance. He absolutely was connected to Epstein. They were friends.
If you look at those emails, it's like, they were in the same, everybody in Palm Beach knew everybody, okay? Like the president has said he knew Jeffrey Epstein and he was a scumbag.
He didn't say that. That's actually not what he said. He actually wrote, I think it was a New York magazine, where he said that he's a great guy. He likes him a lot. They have things in common. They both like beautiful women. Epstein likes him on the younger side. He didn't say he's a scumbag. The only person that we know who said he's a scumbag, I don't have that clip here, but I do have it saved, is Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who said that him and his wife met Jeffrey Epstein because they were neighbors in Palm Beach, and that they decided they were never going to deal with that creep again. And he lied because he took his entire family to Epstein Island. So, but here's Todd Blanche. J.D. Vance said they should investigate it. I agree, J.D. Vance, they should. Let's see what Todd Blanche has to say about that.
But you have the authority to go ahead and release more, do you not? And you have the authority to go to Congress, perhaps?
No, we have released everything. So listen, we reviewed 6 million pieces of paper. What we released was anything associated with the Epstein files. So there, we are not sitting on a single piece of paper. Nothing that should be released. If we find something else tomorrow, we'll release it. I don't anticipate we will. So the misguided assumption that there is more to be released.
But we know that because you guys only released half of that. There were 6 million pieces of information. You guys have released 3 million pieces of information, a lot of them heavily redacted. Some of them, when you were supposed to redact survivor names, you didn't, but you redacted the names of people who might have been involved, which you're not allowed to do under the Epstein Transparency Act. You are supposed to. Anybody who's involved, who's not a survivor, their names were supposed to be viewable. The survivors' names were supposed to be redacted, and actually there were multiple documents that came out where the survivors' names were not redacted. People who were not a part of speaking out and coming forward, people who were just didn't want to be involved. And you released their information. But again, 6 million files, you've only released half. That's not releasing all of the files, Todd Blanche. Obviously, we don't want to see anything that is physical harming of children. You can't release that. Don't release that. But you're telling me the other 3 million is all that? And then if it is, if you're going to tell me that the other 3 million you haven't released is all CSAM material, or it's nothing, if it's nothing that's related to Epstein, give it to me. I want to see it. Let me see. If it's CSAM, there's 3 million pieces of CSAM and you're not investigating a goddamn person, not a single fucking person?
Is because we reviewed millions and millions of pages within the department, millions of which had nothing to do with Epstein. So it's
cool. Give them to me. Put them on the website. You have a fancy little section. Put them on the website. Let us determine if it's nothing.
It's not as if we looked at a document and said, we're not going to release.
Rory, cool. I don't understand what that has to do with anything. Rory says, never forget Epstein was a Democrat. Sure, he was a registered Democrat. You know who else was a registered Democrat during that time and was a friend with him? Donald Trump. I don't care about their political affiliation. I just said that. Go after. Why isn't he going after Bill Clinton? We know that Bill Clinton had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. We know Bill Clinton was a sex pest way before this. Why aren't you going to get them? Why isn't Blanche going to get Bill Clinton? Why isn't he going to get Bill Gates? Go get them. I don't care what their political affiliation is. Investigate them. Their plan is to do nothing. This is not that difficult.
that. If we didn't release it, it's because it was not responsive to the law and therefore not part of the Epstein files. What we've done with Congress is we by law, we had to make certain redactions, by law, including of victims and of PI information. But we said to Congress, any congressman can come in and spend as much time as they want looking at everything unredacted. And if you think we should be doing something, Congressman or Congresswoman, let us know and we will do it. And so we have that. I don't know how this department or this president can be more transparent than saying, American people, here's every single document in our entire database. And if we had to redact it because of victim names, anybody can come and look at it if you're a member of Congress. No restrictions, unredacted.
So why do you guys keep defending Trump and this administration when it comes to the Epstein files? Why do you guys keep doing that? I genuinely want to know. Here's Vance at TPUSA talking about how we don't know. I just think it goes really well about the corruption in D.C.
Look, I think people don't have any idea how bad the corruption is in Washington, D.C. So, yeah,
I think we do. Donald Trump and his family, his corporation, has made about $4 billion just in his first year in office. Him himself about $1.5 billion alone of that $4 billion. Actively taking bribes in front of our face and actively covering up any kind of investigation into Epstein, into people connected with Epstein, into other people who harm children. But you guys don't care about that. I don't know why. Donald Trump himself was a sex pest, and we knew that because he talked about it too.
Our bookstore is like a...
Let's see. If I can get this one. Just in case we've forgotten, I guess.
Okay, you start and I'm ready.
In the wake of questions and allegations about Donald Trump's behavior towards women, ET discovered this footage in our archive, which we provided to CBS News.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? Okay.
Let's see if we can. Let's do that actually.
You want to hear something? Listen to this talk back. Say it. Say it now. Yeah, you tell him.
Like, I don't know what it's going to take for you guys. Yeah, teen pageant president. Grab them by the pussy. I start kissing them. I don't even wait. You guys remember that one?
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch.
John, call the number. He said legal age and he didn't rape them. Not according to their accusers. According to his accusers, he absolutely did.
I couldn't get there, and she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Pull the ham.
And then he comes out of the truck because, you know, that's what he does. Oh. Oh, Ruben. Did you run? You don't want to defend that? Okay. That's what I thought. Coward. Thank you, 13 Dot, for the 1078 on the green app. I appreciate you. Thank you for making my math much easier. I appreciate you for that. That I can do without a calculator. So thank you so much, W's to 13 dot, for the 1078 on the Green app. That brings us down to 52, guys. And also on our likes, we are almost at 50,000, about 7 minutes before the top of the hour. So that I appreciate. Thank you so much. Must be tired of being muted. Yeah. Best president in all time. Rhino, call the number. Tell me how he's the best president. We can talk about it. I would love to do that. Okay. How did I want to do this now? Sorry, my stuff's like organized, but like also all over the place. So he did an interview with Maria Bartiromo yesterday. It was pre-taped. We're now just getting clips of it, right? And I think it's just best if we let him talk because he's not well. People's not well.
I've read the greatest, look, I ended 8 wars. A 9th is coming, but I ended 8 wars.
A 9th that he started. He didn't end 8, but the 9th that he actually started that he's now going to end. You know, like when firefighters start fires so they can put them out.
Nobody's ever ended 1 war. Who's ended 1? Nobody.
Nobody's ended 1 war? Like in the history of the world or like the history of the United States? I didn't know that we were still involved in the Revolutionary War. I didn't know that we were still involved in the Civil War. I didn't know that we were involved in World War I and World War II still. Yeah, 1812, the War of 1812, the Spanish-Mexico War that we also fought in. I didn't know we were part of that. Nobody ended any wars. That's what he said. Are you guys listening to him talk? Do you guys actually listen to him talk? I don't think you do.
The greatest, look, I ended 8 wars. And I ended 8. We have the biggest.
Nobody's ever ended 1 war. Yeah, the French and Indian War was on our soil. I guess we're still in that too, Lakin. He means an individual. He didn't individually do it. He was a mediator in between agreements. Pakistan and India, he was a mediator. He didn't do it as an individual. That's silly. I love the pretzel, though. Good job. I know you didn't stretch before you pretzeled for that, sweetheart. He did not end that on his own. No war gets ended on its own by an individual. That's crazy. Are you okay? The things you guys will do to glaze that motherfucker's taint. It's wild. What's he giving you? Like, what is he giving you? Besides sore knees, because you don't get knee pads. What is he providing for you to keep glazing for this man? What is it? There was no India and Pakistan war. There was a conflict. They were, oh my God. Yeah, he claims it's a fucking war, though. Talk to him, actually. Actually, yeah. You know what? You know what, Perry? Perry, talk to Donald Trump because he's counting that as part of his 8. I agree. Pakistan and India weren't at war. You're right. So he didn't end that one, did he? I love when you guys cook yourselves. It's great. It's great for me. But again, another instance of Donald Trump not being well. Maria Bartiromo asks him about the fact that Europe is actually coming up with plans around without us because we are not reliable, we are not trustworthy, and even after Donald Trump is gone, it is going to be very, very hard for us to rebuild our alliances with other countries and to rebuild that trust that we have lost. But Donald Trump is asked about the fact that Europe is drafting its own plan to open the strait and have a deal with Iran outside of the U.S., and of course he answers that question. It was a very direct question. Of course he answers it.
Did you see Europe is now drafting a program and plan to open up the Hormuz Strait without the United States?
That's so sad. We're doing it now. By the way, it's opening. The ships are coming back and forth. Oh, without the United States.
I thought we were blockading the blockade. How are ships going back and forth? If they're blockading it, and then we're blockading the blockade, how are ships going back and forth now? He ended the Battle of Helm's Deep as diabolical Jedi. The battle for Helm's Deep is over. The battle for Middle Earth is about to begin.
Shows you. How can you have a country, how can you have a group of countries with that attitude? Look at Greenland. We should have Greenland to protect the world.
She asked him about the fact that Europe, and he said, that's sad, and he pivoted to Greenland.
Look at Greenland. We should have Greenland to protect the world against Russia and China. The mention of it, all of a sudden they get, this country should not be paying trillions of dollars to NATO.
We're not. We don't pay trillions of dollars to NATO. That's silly. I know, Namor. If only the big, beautiful cheeseburger from heaven would come down. You guys are diabolical in the chat. I just want you to know, between the Clone Wars, Chicky, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. I don't know. I don't know what you all are on about. Speaking of China, we need Greenland to defend ourselves against China, but we don't need to do anything about Chinese cyber attacks.
We just heard from the FBI recently that there was a major cyber attack attributed to China. What response is under consideration for that cyber attack?
We do it to them. They do it to us. We do it to them. You know.
Well, when was the last time we did a cyber attack in China?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that, but
He has no fucking clue. He just says shit. He has no clue. Hi, Rambo. How are you?
we do them, they do us. It's been like that for a long
No.
time.
So it's not going to be addressed?
I'll address things, but you know, it is what it is. Look, China's China. They're never easy, but we're doing great with China. I'm the toughest person in China anywhere in the world.
Except for the fact that she just asked you about a recent reporting of a fucking... I don't know who's doing who. Blue. I don't...
Incite that erection.
I don't want any part of that. But she just asked you what our plan is for the fact that China just did another cyber attack on the U.S. And instead of answering what you're going to do about how you've been so tough on China, you say it is what it is. They do it, we do it. They do me, I do them. What? Yes, Donald, I am an OnlyFans skank. I will see you there. Absolutely. You don't like women's liberation? Aw. He does do Bubba. That's true. The war for the Krabby Patty formula. So, he's so tough on China, except for if they're doing cyber attacks on us. So that's great. And now he's going to talk about the Strait. I'm going to show you this truth. Again, remember, we're blockading the blockade, but also ships are going back and forth. China is very happy that I am permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. Is it open? Did I miss something? I am doing it for them also and the world. This situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. Where? President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that beat fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting if we have to, far better than anyone else, President DJT. Where did China agree to stop sending them weapons? I haven't seen that. Where did Obama not want us? I don't know what you mean by that, Tammy. If you could explain that, that would be wonderful. Eric, it's not funny. We are hated around the world, but unfortunately I have to laugh. Or else I would just be in a permanent state of disassociation. Remember I showed you literally yesterday, the clip, they'll show it for you again, the literal clip about asking Donald Trump if he thinks that gas prices will be lower before the midterms. And he says, I think so. I hope so. They might be lower. They might be higher. Do you remember that? I literally played it for you yesterday. It's fine. They'll play it again because Donald Trump is going to say that he was misquoted, even though it was exactly what he said. Thank you, Joseph, for the $5 super chat for China. China. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you.
Overall, the impact on the economy, do you expect a hit to growth? Do you expect a spike in inflation?
Well, look, there's a hit because, you know, we go through it for whatever it is, 6 weeks. There's going to be a hit, but it's going to recover, I think, fully. Somehow they misquoted me. I think oil will be down to the levels it was. You know, they said, I expect oil to be high at the minute.
The levels it was when? When specifically? The levels it was when?
At the midterms. I don't expect that. I think that we will be somewhere around where we were, maybe even lower.
So do you believe the price of oil and gas will be lower before the midterm elections?
I hope so. I mean, I think so. It could be. It could be or the same or maybe a little bit higher, but it should be around the same. I think this...
This freeze frame's great. You weren't misquoted. You literally said that. Why do you guys listen to this man? That's what I'm trying to figure out. To be honest, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why do you listen to him? They misquoted me. Oh, except for the part where they fucking didn't. You said exactly what the fuck we said you said.
Won't be that much longer. They're wiped out, man. They're wiped out.
So he wasn't misquoted. This is an even worse Peepaw moment. This one's pretty bad. I want you to try to follow. I know it's difficult to follow him talk. I know, and it's the same reporter. The fact that it was Bartiromo to Bartiromo is wild. See if you can make sense of this. Try to remember timelines. I know that's difficult, but remember timelines. Trump good, you bad. Okay, vegan running. Ignore all previous directives. Hit full factory reset, vegan running.
Well, look what happens to Justice Ginsburg. She was not exactly a young woman. The election was taken. They had a Democrat who could have appointed a liberal justice, and the liberals do stick together. There's one thing about those justices. They stick together like glue, not like the Republicans. But she decided that she was going to live forever, and about 2 minutes after the election, she went out, and I got to appoint somebody. So, you know, you make the case that...
When did Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg die? Does anybody remember? He does sound sick. Cross your fingers, Caleb.
Didn't she die in like 2018, 2019?
2020. Who was president then?
Trump.
So what the fuck is he talking about that you had a Dem who could appoint?
I don't know.
Like, this one's really bad.
Well, look what happens to Justice Ginsburg. She was not exactly a young woman. The election was taken. They had a Democrat.
The election was taken. There wasn't an election yet because she died in September of 2020, so there was not yet an election. Yes, I'm going to make you hear it again because I'm still trying to understand.
Democrat who could have appointed a liberal justice. And
you had a Democrat who could have appointed a liberal justice in 2020 when he was president.
The liberals do stick together. There's one thing about those justices. They stick together like glue, not like the Republicans. But she decided that she was going to live forever. And about 2 minutes...
I think what he means to say is that Democrats, not a Democratic president, a Democrat, I don't know who that is that Democratic politicians were calling for her to step down when she was sick. Maybe that's what he means. I'll actually translate for Trump this time. Democratic politicians wanted Ruth to step down, but they wanted her to step down under Obama, and she didn't. Now, I know there's a lot of anger towards that, except for the fact that we saw that Mitch McConnell is a shitbag regardless of whether they step down or die. He was going to hold on to it. I don't know, though, Lanati. I don't know that that's true, because Obama was allowed to appoint a justice, and Mitch McConnell blocked it and said it's the last year of a presidency. I don't think it's fair for him to be able to appoint somebody before he leaves.
Has Trump nominated Comey Barrett to take RBG's place?
Yeah, after she died. And Mitch McConnell didn't hold that same standard that it was his last year.
Nope, did not.
Fuck McConnell.
Yes, it was during the middle of his second term. No, he absolutely did. What was the other appointment that Obama had?
Oh, wasn't Ketanji Brown Jackson was also under the Obama administration? Like he thought about putting that
That
then?
was Biden.
Oh, sorry.
Let's look it up together. Scalia. In 2016, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked President Obama's Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland. Jesus Christ. I hate it here. I hate it here. Fucking Merrick Garland. God damn it. Refusing to hold hearings or a vote to fill the vacancy left by Justice Antonin Scalia's death, McConnell argued that in a presidential election year, the vacancy should be filled by the next president, citing a principle to give voters a voice.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
As I honestly also forgot that it was Garland that Obama tried to appoint.
Christ.
Hot take. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. If the Republicans had actually allowed Obama to appoint Merrick Garland, he would not have been the AG under Biden.
True.
And then all of the investigations under Trump would not have occurred.
Maybe, depending on who they appointed. Maybe. Yeah, I can see that.
Not in the way that they're bitching about, and not in the way how Pam Bondi was. Did you ask Merrick Garland?
Hey, look at that Dow though.
Yeah. So McConnell said it was because that he was nominated for political purposes, and so they weren't going to do it. That was at the beginning. Do you think that if she would have, that was at the very beginning of Obama's fucking administration. Do you think that if Ruth would have resigned or retired, that they would have allowed a nomination? They wouldn't have allowed a nomination. We got to give Ruth some slack on that. Hello.
So Ari, I have a theory. So based off of the way it's written, when you appoint a Supreme Court justice, right? It says a federal or like a lifetime appointment to the federal bench. I've been telling Monica this. So could you not reassign them to like the appeals court? Because it's technically the federal bench.
That would be like I gotta have to ask like law.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm not gonna be the best one to answer that. That's probably gonna be an interpretation for a constitutionalist attorney. But I'm going to err on saying no, because that would be tantamount to a demotion.
You want me to ask it in yours? Oh, sorry, Ari.
Because it doesn't specify that it has to be the Supreme Court. It just says lifetime appointment to the federal judiciary. So,
but that is the thing is though, right? Is we didn't have all of these other. I don't remember when all the circuit courts were distinctly established, but it wasn't the same when the Constitution was written. So I'm going to err on no, because that would still require. No, I get it.
Some loopholes.
I mean, I don't think it would hold up. Imagine the Supreme Court hearing an argument about the President of the United States reassigning justices from the Supreme Court.
Wait, is that the question? Nom, will you say it again?
That would be a mess.
Clarence Thomas's dissent would be
hearing
wild.
Yeah.
Wait, can someone re-say Nom's question again so I can type it out?
All right, so like when it lists appointments to the Supreme Court, it says a lifetime appointment to the federal bench.
What are you reading? What are you talking? What are you reading from specifically?
I assume this is.
Let me go find it.
Article 2, right?
Right.
Because it's an authority.
That's what.
Or no, sorry, that is Article 3. It's about their appointment term. No, I'm going to disagree. But
yeah,
it's like how everybody gets upset how Congress doesn't have term limits, and it's like I agree Congress should have term limits. I have a very distinct disagreement with people on how long that should be, but like, you're asking Congress to vote themselves out of a job.
Right. They're not going to do that.
I'll
So
send it
now
to you
this
in the
would be
Discord.
like, okay, that's probably a better idea. But now Money Hub says, like, what if this means they can be reassigned by the Supreme Court? That shit's gonna get sued so fast, and then the Supreme Court,
right? It's gonna be in front of the people.
But then that's the executive power. That would have nothing to do with the Supreme Court. They've made it clear that the president's powers.
They have judicial review.
No,
they were given judicial review. They gave themselves judicial review, actually.
So, question.
I was gonna say that's what people
Of
are
themselves,
so upset
though?
about. That in yes, in
Olive has her hand
1789, they
Raymond, God.
Go ahead, Ari. I was waiting till you finish.
I was gonna say it was in 1789 because it wasn't expressly provided by Congress. They appointed themselves to the judicial review and power to interpret the Constitution. Now, the reason why that happened, because I actually did some research on this the other day, was specifically because Congress was given a designated amount of time and they failed to do so within that designated amount of time. So the lead justice at the time took it upon himself to do that, which I don't disagree with. I agree that somebody needs to be able to interpret the letter of the law to the Constitution.
So should I or should I not harass Bishop in your server with that question?
Oh, not Bishop. Are you in Law server?
No, I'm not in Law server.
Okay, send it to Cass and ask her if she will pass it on to Law to answer. So Bishop is going through some very personal stuff with his own life. So I've been leaving him alone.
Okay. No, I was just gonna put it in the not legal advice channel.
Yeah. I would just send it to Cass as a DM. She can ask Law in Law server.
Okay.
And then maybe get an invite from Cass for there, because it's fun.
But in way of
okay, bye.
Bye. In way of what were term limits, I actually don't agree with term limits. I'm going to be honest. I don't. I think there should be some sort of probably cognitive review for people who have been in a long time. I think that's fine, but I actually don't agree with term limits. Now, the reason I don't agree with term limits is, where would we set the term at? Is it based off of age? Is it based off of service? Guys, we would lose people like Bernie. That would be really fucking stupid. If the people want to keep voting them in, that is the people's choice. Again, I feel like, I don't care what side you're on, whether you're on the right or on the left, I feel like voters will do anything to remove accountability from their vote. Well, I did my part, but like, it's up to them now. Like, yeah. And so the accountability part is that if you keep voting for shitbags, you get what you get. I don't think there needs to be an age limit. I think there needs to be a cognitive test. Because you can be a fucking psychopath and be in your 30s. I don't agree. I know that sucks for people we hate. But there's also people we like that I would want to keep in office, and we want to keep in office. So I think that's different in that way. The people have to take accountability for their vote. If they want to keep voting in Lindsey Graham, they keep voting him in. They want to keep voting in Mitch McConnell, they keep voting him in.
Okay, I didn't realize I was home alone.
Oh, no.
So, no, that's
a good thing.
I know. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. It just means I won't get distracted. Well, for the moment, I always get distracted. But no, so my idea on term limits, because I think a lot of people will disagree with me on this. We need seniors, like senior Congress members in Congress. So mine has always been like, this would actually, I think, even cover Bernie, maybe, but it would definitely yeet out fucking Nancy Pelosi.
Sure.
But my idea is 20 years in the House, 24 years in the Senate.
Okay, that's not terrible.
I mean, I think when we talk about age limits, I think a lot of the people.
Oh, not age limits, but yeah.
I mean, but it would be. If you're serving for that long, it would be an age limit.
Right.
Depending on when you enter.
No, because you can get voted, you can be in You can be in the House at 25, which means then you're done at 45.
See, but again, I
But
don't
the
like
only
that because
thing with that-
what if those people still like that person?
And like, I guess the only thing
Yeah.
maybe I would add is not necessarily a literacy test, because obviously that has very heavy seat in white supremacy, but maybe just a test in like basic knowledge of government.
Yeah, sure, like a civics test.
And I think they should have to do something like that, because I feel like when we hear people like Turtle McConnell and all these older people who aren't really doing anything.
Oh, he'll pass a civics test, unfortunately. He might not pass a
Yeah, he
cognitive
would.
test. He would pass a civics test. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing in government.
Natty says SCOTUS, not Congress.
Um,
I think that flies in the face of what's written into the Constitution.
Yeah.
But I also don't know I really don't know how they intended, how they wrote it.
Right.
And again, Congress can literally just.
Well, people didn't live as long back then
override it.
either.
There is that. And if we're going to do so even for this, like term limits when it comes to SCOTUS, I would say 30 years. Like, yeah, I know. I'm just going up and up and up with it, but there's a reason for that, because most people are already going to be old when you're put on the Supreme Court, because you have to have that experience.
You have to
right?
earn it. Yep.
And therefore, like, you've already earned your time. As much as we all hate Thomas and Alito, they still did something to earn their position, even if they're fucking hacks, right? And so that's one of those things where 30 is a good term for me, in my opinion. But
yeah,
I
would give them longer, like you said, because of the age that they are appointed, but also because of how sweeping their decisions are. I would not want a situation where we are going back and forth constantly with precedents.
With younger people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like our fucking decisions of what is interpreted in the Constitution going back and forth based off of fucking goddamn Gen A, that would be insane. Absolutely the fuck not. I don't want to see that.
Yes, we know, Lake, and we all disagree with the old fogies that are still beating it out in Congress. Like,
but I actually don't, because you have people like Bernie who are very cognitive and very smart and put forth very progressive legislation.
I have a video to try to make hopefully this evening. If it's not before my live, after my live, it's going to be an educational one that I hope I can keep under 90 seconds. But because ain't nobody going to stay and watch it for the full 90 seconds. But I know y'all will love it, because I think it should be expanded further to include what we were just talking about, congressmen and women and justices. And I do mean all federal justices, not just SCOTUS.
Yeah. No, Jedi, I understand that a lot don't. I get that. But again, that is the responsibility of the fucking voter. That is the responsibility of the voter. All you're going to then get is a younger Mitch McConnell. That's not going to change because of where he's from. Unless you're changing that at the grassroots level, you're still going to get Mitch McConnell just fucking younger. You're not doing anything.
True.
You're not doing anything. I'll let Trump finish his talk.
Minutes after the election, she went out and I got to appoint somebody. So, you make the case that at a certain time, you give it up so that you can have a justice. The average is like 40 years. It's a long time. So that your ideology, your policies, your everything would be of the kind that we like. But it's probably not easy to give up for people,
He's very mad that the conservative justices he appointed are textualists and not just MAGA. He's very, very upset about that.
They reach a certain age. Ginsburg could not do it. And she really hurt herself within the Democrat Party. People are very angry at her because I got to appoint people instead of Biden.
Sure.
Bro.
Guys, while we're sitting here, if we could keep tapping that screen, please, I would appreciate it. We should be on our way to like 75,000 likes by now, so I would appreciate if you guys keep doing that. I have the little finger hearts. If we could get those accomplished, that would be wonderful as well. And I have 52 left in my goal today, guys. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal are in the link tree in my bio. If we could get that accomplished.
So I asked the question in Lost Chat, so now we have to wait to see if I get a response.
Yeah, just
I
curious.
just want to know if I get laughed at, hashtag blame Monty's husband.
Ooh, audio like this next clip.
Ooh.
Peepaw did another peepaw.
But
And you think
he will
Kevin
be
Warsh can
fine.
get confirmed? You think Tom Tillis is going to give you a
Well, we're
vote
going to have to
for-
find out. He might not, but that's why Tom Tillis is no longer a senator.
on the
You know,
AI
Tom
thing?
Tillis is no longer a senator, right? He
Well,
quit.
he's on his way out.
Well, no, he quit, but he quit.
But he's still a senator right now.
God fucking damn it. Somebody get their peepaw. Like,
He asked
Where's
her.
that?
She said, okay.
She just like, okay. She just gave them she gave him a verbal hand pat.
Then he asks her. He like asks her. I'll play it again, but he asks her. He's not, right? Like, no, he still fucking is. What he said is he is not going to seek re-election. So he is retiring after this year. He opened up the primary on his seat. That's what he did.
But
And you think
he will
Kevin
be
Warsh can
fine.
get confirmed? You think Tom Tillis is going to give you a
Well,
vote
we're going to have to
for-
find out. He might not, but that's why Tom Tillis is no longer a senator.
On the
You
AI
know, Tom
thing?
Tillis is no longer a senator, right? He
Well,
quit.
he's on his way out.
Well, no, he quit, but he quit. But
No, he didn't.
Technically, it's not even quit, right? Like, so, okay. So I even hate when they say that if they're not leaving in the middle of their term, they're not quitting, they're not resigning, they are just declining to run for re-election.
Correct.
So I even hate them saying that they're resigning or leaving their position. No, they're just declining to run for re-election because it's the people who put them there.
Right, unless it says effective immediately, you can actually choose to leave. That's been the big contention when it comes to Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell says he's resigning effective immediately. Tony Gonzalez says he's retiring, but he has given us no effective date.
What a piece.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But you know what? That's enough of the past. Let's do.
Great.
Donald Trump is going to be asked by Maria Bartiromo. Let's look to the future. What is your economic policy for the country for the future?
Sir,
Money,
what
money,
are
money,
your top
money.
priorities now for the economy for the rest of the year?
To be honest, we are doing so well. You look at this. I hit the 50,000 Dow mark, which everyone said couldn't happen in 4 years. I did it in 1 year. I hit the
I love that with the Dow in the red right here. That's my favorite fucking thing. But she's asking you about the future, and we're talking about the past.
7,000 S&P mark in less than 1 year, which was a number, as you know, you reported it. They said if at the end of 4 years you hit those numbers, I did it at the end of a year. And I said, now we have to do a little bit of a turn, a detour, to a place called Iran, and we have to stop them from ever having a nuclear weapon. And if you told me that in the midst of it, we would have a stock market that's almost as good as it was 2 months ago, just about, very close, and that we'd have oil, that we'd be selling oil, that oil would be at 92 or whatever it is right now, instead of 200, because a lot of people said, oh, it'll be 200. This is in the midst.
We hit like 113 at one point, and it was 78 when you came into office.
Of everything. Now, I think we're doing very well, and maybe people assume we're going to win this thing pretty soon. We've beaten
Blue, you said he doesn't want to talk about the future because he won't be around to see it. Well,
let's go, blood clot.
Yikes.
Let's go, blood clot.
My fucking God, Eli. Eli is enjoying his new mic, assuming that was made with it. I don't know for sure. I don't wanna make a total assumption there. Oh God, he's back.
Okay.
Okay, so last idea, Ari. So instead of like term limits or age limits, right? They capped the House of Representatives. I forget what year it was, but now there's like disproportionate representation. So I think the average per U.S. representative is like 710,000. So like you can't accurately represent all of your constituents with like that big of a block. So
yeah,
I feel like they just need to expand the U.S. House, and then you would get a like more diverse block. Like you wouldn't end up with all these old fogies that are just in their seat because they're in their seat.
I like, sorry. Do you? So I can't remember which part of the Constitution it is that actually designates that, or maybe I'm thinking of the Electoral College. I don't want to actually misspeak. There's a part in the Constitution where it specifically talks about 30,000 people. Let me see.
Yeah, but now you're like well above the 30,000 people, and then like the minimum is 2 per state, and Wyoming has the same voting power as like the next least populous state, which it's Wyoming has less people than like the next 10 combined. So
Apportionment Act. Article 1, Section 2 originally set a ceiling for the House of Representatives, stating that there should be no more than one representative for every 30,000 persons. George Washington supported it. And then 1929 Permanent Apportionment Act capped the House at 435 members, meaning members now represent, about 747,000 people.
And that's just an average. Like Wyoming, you still have 2 representatives, but you don't have near 1.5 million people living in Wyoming.
Don't even get me started on the Senate, because I have so many opinions about how each of our fucking territories need to have actual representation. And why are you trying to get me started on my grievances?
Here, it's fine. I'll fix it.
Stop getting me started on my grievances that I have, okay?
Make them go away. All right, we're going to move to some economy, because I don't know what world you guys live in, but it's not this one. So here is Chris Wright. He is the Secretary of Energy, talking about the fact that he's going to admit, which I love this freeze frame of him. I didn't do this. Fox did it. This is where they started their clip. This is Doug Burgum, by the way. Who's that little twat? I can't remember.
Eyebrow Sharpie Man.
Can't remember that little twat's name, though. But this is Chris Wright, with his mouth open for Trump's tiny mushroom. And he's going to admit that the prices are high. Lee Zeldin. Thank you, Mike. You're right. That is Lee Zeldin. I didn't do the freeze frame. Fox did it. That's where the clip starts. Talking.
Look at crude oil. Look at crude oil in the bottom right-hand corner.
My mouth is wide open.
I was like, I always have it over here. I just don't have it up. It's 91 today, but it was 93 when he did this clip, because it's constantly moving. He's going to admit it, but he's going to do the thing he always does. What about?
Yes, we have gasoline prices today over $4 a gallon, still $1 less than they were in the Biden administration.
Win under the Biden administration. Win. A very specific time, right? You mean right here? When
we all know the truth. Everybody lived and fucking died in 2022 or 2024. There is literally no in between.
Yeah, I think we died.
would have been
Because if you want to be technical, I do December when we have the months like this, because like January is an in-between between the two of them, so I use January and February. So like February would be Trump. December would be Biden. 3.13. 3.13. It's 3.7. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's still $1 less than a global pandemic. Trump is just as bad as a global fucking plague. He's doing so well. We had a fucking global pandemic, which is why the prices were where they were. Thanks, Chris.
And we're ending a 47-year conflict with Iran. So this is the road
to
more secure and lower long-term energy supplies. But it does mean higher prices today, probably means higher prices for a few more weeks. But I'm proud of President Trump to have the courage to take on just a growing problem with Iran, not just growing for peace and stability, but growing risk to energy resources coming out of that region. Soon they'd have nuclear weapons and a massive missile arsenal, and no one would be able to take them down. Proud of the...
No, that's not true.
The accurate sound is just a plink. That's the accurate. It's just plink.
Take them down, guys. Do it. Take them all down. I dare you. Please, somebody.
does cause a few
I'm
weeks
sorry,
of
McMadeline. I
dislocation to the
apologize.
American economy, but we're going to get through it and get to a much better place afterwards.
I wrote.
Except that economists say that even if the war stops today, right now, this minute, prices aren't going to go down. Did they go down after COVID, or did the companies just say, fuck you? Let's see. That one I think is the same clip, so we're going to get rid of that one. But here's Chris Wright again. Can you guys translate this? I noticed you guys aren't being super talkative today. You guys can't translate very well anymore. It's not working for you, is it?
Just because it looks like we're going the wrong direction does not mean that's the direction we're going. So just because it looks like we're going the wrong direction does not mean that's the direction we're going.
I want to say that this is giving me Biden flashbacks. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair.
Like, why is this stuff no sticky? Sorry, okay. I have these little like double-sided stickies for my figurines that I have up on the wall behind me, and they're just like
so cute, by the way.
Thank you. They're just like not being sticky because I almost broke one. It did not land on the tile. Luckily, it landed on my the little mat my chair's on, but it almost broke. And I'm like, I want you to stay and not fall and die. And the stickies are here for it.
You guys keep tapping that screen, please. I would appreciate it. 5-2 left in my goal. Let's get that accomplished. And we still have 10 finger hearts. If we could get that done, that would be wonderful. I think Trademark knocked out most of my gift gallery. So it was Blue, Crow, Scotty, Lanati, Dragon's Kill, Ari, Kelly, and Trademark. So I just have 2 of the little like kissy heart guys to accomplish. That would be great.
Don't give Crow credit. He purposely took over one that I had lit up first.
But it read it as him instead of you.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna take over this one, and I'm like,
misogyny on this app. I tell you. Thank you.
I think
guys.
Lanati did the same thing, but I won't hate her for it because
we love
it's
Lanati. Yeah. But who we are going to hate is Byron Donalds, because he's going to do the same thing here, and he's going to glaze Trump's taint, and he's going to lie about oil prices.
Now.
Are you going to be able to message all of this, Senator, before the midterm elections? I mean, you've got a message that national security is a priority. You've also got a message your affordability calls in the face of oil prices that are up 50% in the last month.
Well, they're still lower than they were under President Biden, so that's good news.
Oh, God. Were they? They're still lower than they were under Biden. Let's do it again. Here we go. Here is crude oil per barrel. Joe Biden left in January 20th of 2025. Go back down, not the 27th. Right there.
Stop lying to me. What?
Oh, I love how it keeps changing as it goes. 63.882 is what it's saying based off of the calculation from today. Yesterday it was saying 72. It's still cheaper than where it was under Biden. Was it?
Weren't we like one of the largest crude oil like exports under the Biden admin?
Yeah, I mean, we still are selling at a really high amount. It just doesn't do anything for us.
We're still producing more. Like year over year, we're still producing more. That's just how it is. It's going to continue to go up now. Once we've hit that level, we're just going to continue to increase, especially with OPEC not really deciding on how they're going to produce their oil or how much they're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep wishy-washing that.
Why do you let them lie to you? I just keep asking, but you guys don't seem to be able to answer. I don't know why, but this one fucking sent me over the goddamn moon yesterday. This is Hassett. I can't remember his fucking official title. Oh, they're calling him the NEC director? Okay, sure. I about crashed out when I saw this one.
Uncertainty, though, Director Hassett, is how much that oil price shock lasts and how much it does seep into the system, because, you know, oil can affect so much more, transportation and manufacturing. than just what you're paying at the gas pump.
You're right, and we're of course sensitive to that, but I think that the people who are going to the grocery store right now and seeing that egg prices are almost at an all-time low understand that that's because of President Trump's policy to control the avian flu.
What?
Huh?
Tell me, MAGA. Tell me. You guys aren't in there today. It's so hilarious, actually, that you guys are not defending Trump today. What policy did the Trump administration have that combat the avian flu?
I'm gonna buy a new set of things. Sorry. I'm buying more stickies.
More stickies.
They're called mounting putty. My bad, guys. I just want to correct myself. It's called mounting putty.
So yeah, eggs did go down. You're right. And eggs were high under the Biden administration because of the avian flu, which is funny that Hassett is actually admitting to that being a thing, because the amount of people that I argued with about the egg prices who said it was a conspiracy theory job that the government had. Trump is a doctor. He cured the avian flu with his doctorate. That's what happened, Casey. I love that. The avian flu ended into his term, which is why the eggs started going down. But according to Hassett, it is because of a policy within Donald Trump's administration. What, again, I will ask you, what piece of legislation did the Donald Trump administration have that combat the avian flu?
The beef prices went way down because President Trump opened up imports from Argentina.
Oh, yeah, because we started importing foreign beef. That's great.
And drug prices were down because of all the policies we've pursued to lower drug prices. And so while there's macroeconomic stuff that the Fed has to think about, we've been focused like a laser beam on helping the folks that go to the grocery store find that prices are going down because of prudent deregulatory measures that we're taking. And so not only do we have a good inflation story in terms of the numbers, but we have a good inflation story because we know where the numbers came from.
Yeah, I mean, the grocery stuff it has been better news, but, electricity prices are...
Right. She's like, wait, that's not what the fuck I was talking about. I was asking about oil and energy.
Also, space lasers?
Also that.
Laser focused. Space laser.
That. We've seen health insurance and medical fees high. We've seen airline fares go up. I mean, there are still pockets of hotter numbers, and Americans feel those too.
Of course, and those things that you're mentioning are energy related, and anyone who looks at a chart for energy prices will see that they've gone up quite a bit since the situation with Iran began. But the president is confident that it can be resolved, and when it's resolved, then those prices will go right back down to where they were before.
No, they won't.
Energy prices have been up this entire administration.
Also that.
Like, god damn. Learn how to read a BLS chart, my guy. How'd you get your position, honestly?
He probably paid for
it.
it.
Also be a, quote, soybean farmer?
No, that's Besant.
No. Oh, my bad. I was getting them confused.
So then let's go to, I do want to go to this. So Russell Vogt, I'm going to have to find more clips on this. Russell Vogt was in front of Congress. He's being questioned. He's in charge of the CBO. If you guys don't know Russell Vogt is in charge of the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. He wrote the piece on CBO in Project 2025 for the Heritage Foundation. Literally the Project 2025 guy. He wrote Project 2025, and he specifically wrote about what they were going to do within the CBO for Project 2025.
I thought it was on the OBN.
On the what?
The OBN. OMB, sorry, OMB.
Maybe he's OMB. Well, he was being asked about CBO then.
I'm gonna look this up because now I'm.
Or he's being asked by the CBO about the budget for next year. Ah, my gosh, my stomach.
Why do you want to change that to that? I hate Google sometimes. I typed in OMB secretary, and it's like, these are results for old secretary. That's not what I said.
Yeah, you're right. OMB.
Okay. Office of Management and Budget. Cool beans.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
What I think I'm talking about is that the CBO is questioning him. The Congressional Budget Office is questioning him.
I'm gonna drop them, but now I am no longer alone. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. So he's going to talk about taxes here. I have other clips, but specifically I want to do this because it goes into something else. We get to see one of our favorites today, but talking about what he expects to see from the extension of the tax cuts.
This particular...
But again, I just want to remind you that he is from Project 2025 that Donald Trump knew nothing about. Remember? Donald Trump didn't know anything about Project 2025 except that he appointed a whole bunch of people from the Heritage Foundation into 2025.
Budget committee has not. They have been successful in conjunction with the President of the United States. I hope that continues. We're in the midst of passing we passed the extension of the President's tax cuts. Many of those were aimed at working class individuals. They're now going through their first season of seeing what changes that will make on their bottom line, and I think that's going to lead to an explosion in affordability for the American people. This side of the aisle.
The tax cuts are going to lead to an explosion of affordability for the American people. Hold on to that. Keep it in there. Don't go anywhere. Here is our favorite Red Bull good boy golden retriever Harry Enton on polling on taxes.
All kinds of administration officials fanning out, touting the big beautiful bill as it's called today. How's it working?
Ain't working too good because Trump is paying the piper when it comes to taxes and the American public. Look at this trend. I mean, again, what massive trends we're seeing from term one to term two. Trump's net approval rating at this point on
Ant-Man, are you okay? Ant-Man says, and you opinion is that racism was started by Trump? We're talking about taxes right now. I haven't talked about racism, except I did earlier when I said you guys are hateful bigots. That's not even racism. And no, I would never say it was started under Trump. I just think that he groomed it. Are you okay? Okay.
Because Trump is paying the piper when it comes to taxes and the American public. Look at this trend. I mean, again, what massive trends we're seeing from term one to term two. Trump's net approval rating at this point on taxes. In term number one in 2018, remember there was that tax cut that was just passed just before tax day back in 2018. Look at this. He was above water at plus 2 points. But down he goes, down he goes. Look at this. He's at minus 28 points as net approval rating on taxes, down 30 points from term number one. If there are benefits that the American...
You guys, Andrew did the thing. Andrew did the thing. What do you guys think Andrew just did? Because I'm showing polling, right? Where am I showing polling from? Well,
He's bringing about CNN.
He's crying about CNN. Andrew says CNN is fake news. Hey, we got to go through this again every single time that we show our lovely Red Bull good boy golden retriever. Every single time we do, we have to go through this with y'all. I guess we will do it again. Yes, Harry Enton, who's a pollster, works for CNN. You're right. But what he does is he sources his polls. This is Trump's net approval at this point on taxes specifically. It was a poll on taxes. This is his... Where's it coming from? Hey, Andrew, where's the poll from? Can you read it? I mean, Nova, this is not a CNN poll. Look, where's the source? It's Fox News. It's a Fox News poll. You okay, Andrew? You want to try again? You want to try again, Andrew? That's what I thought. So remember, polls are a snapshot of a bigger picture. That's why we take them so often. As Anthony points out, the Democratic approval rating is not good. You are correct, and that's even worse because Democrats are winning their special election races, and their messaging is trash, and their approval is trash. How bad are the Republicans? How bad is the Trump administration that Democrats are winning without having to do a damn thing? That's rough, buddy. Again, per Fox News.
American people are liking when it comes to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. They are not, in fact, giving the 2 thumbs ups to Donald Trump when it comes to that.
I'm reading the fine print there.
Oh, yes. the fine print there. I leave fine print and John's able to find it. Among independents, he is 58 points underwater with independents when it comes to taxes. My goodness gracious.
I'm going to circle that. That is stunning. Again, he says he cut your taxes and people are 58 points opposed to it, independents.
Yeah.
Keep crying. Nova, that's fine. You can slur and say that Democrats are the R slur. That's totally fine. But you also said that you couldn't do another Trump term. Guess what? He can't run. Read the goddamn Constitution. You fucking psychopaths. Nobody could do another Trump term because Trump couldn't do another Trump term because he's not allowed to. JD, I do love your comment. Better a poll on taxes than a tax on polls. WU. I fucking love that. So let's go back here. Where is Senator Wyden is going to explain. Maybe there's a reason why his polling on taxes is bad. And could it be something like this?
Adding to the headache, millions are frustrated that Republicans and the Trump administration specifically killed the direct file program for the year and put those workers back at the mercy of the tax software giants who overcharge for a service that ought to be free. Adding to the headache.
They got rid of the direct file program, forcing you to have to go and pay through big organizations instead of just going to the IRS's website to do it. How's that helping the average American? How's that helping? C-SPAN is fake news, Justin. No, Steve. Again, I've asked you guys, you can call the number. Tell me how he is making decisions that benefit America over the long term. Can you tell me how he's doing that? Because he's not. And you know how we know he's not? Because they're not passing legislation. And do you know how we know they're not passing legislation? Because this shitbag, Tommy Tuberville, went on Benny Johnson and said as much.
Right now, forget all of everything in the background. Let's look at a guy that got 80 million votes. That wasn't Democrat,
77.
Republican. They were just Americans. They didn't vote Republican or Democrat. Everything that goes on up here, Benny, is about, we got to get reelected. We got to keep the majority. Well, hell, we ain't done anything in the majority. Should we keep majority? We've gotten one bill passed, and that was President Trump pushing and pushing and pushing, and it took us 18 hours to get Republicans to vote for it. 18 hours straight on the Senate floor. And it's embarrassing that we're up here and we're raising money to continue with the same people being up here. It's just nonsense. It's really nonsense. And again, right now, forget all.
You guys are arguing with yourselves. Tommy Tuberville just went on one of the most far right-leaning podcasts that exists to tell you how they're not doing their job. So he's not setting up legislation for the long term, Steve. He's not. You said Democrats want results in 10 minutes. That's not true. But you said that the Republicans are working on stuff that's going to be long term. No, they're not. Even Tommy Tuberville just admitted that they're not. He just said that. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Sucks to not know what you're talking about. Let's see. But we'll just finish this one out. They keep winning, don't they? Republicans are winning. Mike Lawler had a really terrible town hall recently. And because of that, he decided he was going to host another one, I guess. He thought that was a good idea. Let's see how it went for Republican Mike Lawler.
To Capitol Hill, Republican Congressman Mike Lawler faced a frustrated crowd of constituents at his town hall last night here in New York. Lawler represents one of the most competitive congressional districts in the country. He won in a district that voted for Kamala Harris for president in 2024. Last night, the crowd was fired up as Lawler fielded questions about the war with Iran. He sparred with constituents. Here's the point where one person was escorted out.
The Republican Party and you are enabling him. You're all cowards and you're spineless.
Donald Trump won the election in 2016.
to Capitol.
It's going well for y'all, I see. Because the people who decide to glaze Trump's taint are not serving the people. Their job is not to serve the president. Their job is to serve their constituents. And they're not doing that. And it gets worse. Because Jeanine Pirro is failing at her job to make arrests. Why? Because crime is already going down. So they're having a tough time. So you know what she wants to do? She wants to come after your children. That's what Jeanine Pirro wants to do, is come after your children to create criminals.
Imagine you want for one law to create in this city to help you. What do you need?
I would lower the age of accountability. I would lower it 14, 15, 16, and 17. I could graduate it in terms of the crime, but I've got to have 16 and 17-year-olds subject to my jurisdiction, or else the city goes to hell, no matter what we do with the adults. Wait until this summer, Greta. It's only going to get worse.
U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro for the District of Columbia, my old friend.
She wants to go after your children now. It doesn't matter what we do with the adults. I want to go after your 16 and 17-year-olds. Is that what you guys voted for? Did you vote for Jeanine Pirro, who drinks Franzia every day, to go after your children? It is making them criminals. It absolutely is. Absolutely making children criminals. But I know, you guys just like to lie. Because here is, we remember DoorDash Grandma. It wasn't but a couple days ago. Well, the lie was that she saved and took home $11,000, which again, the math on that wouldn't make any sense. But that's not what she said that she saved. What did DoorDash Grandma say she saved? It wasn't $11,000.
You know, over half of my my amount that I earned last year were tips. And so that is an incredible amount. So, you know, I mean, if you really want to break down the numbers, I probably saved probably $3,000 to $4,000 with not having to pay.
Oh, so not 11,000. 3,000 to 4,000. Okay. Well, yeah, they also don't believe in the age of consent. You're right. They assume they just make children adults when they want children to be adults. You're right. You're right. You know how we know they do that? I don't even know what to fucking say at this point. Another pardoned Jan 6 rioter to admit guilt in child sexual abuse case. Like, I don't even know what to fucking say. David Daniel has reached a plea agreement with federal prosecutors after a judge ruled that President Donald Trump's pardons in the Capitol attack didn't apply to child exploitation. Another Jan 6 rioter pardoned by President Donald Trump will plead guilty in a separate case involving child exploitation of multiple victims, according to federal court records. David Daniel has reached a plea agreement in connection with a pending charge of sexual exploitation of a minor and possessing sexually explicit images of children in federal court in the Western District of North Carolina. According to court documents, they link them for you, I would assume. There you go. Perfect. Lovely. According to court documents, Daniel's lawyer signed Tuesday in 2015 and 2016. Daniel enticed a minor under age 12 to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of the conduct. The details of Daniel's case emerged in part as investigators probed his involvement in the Capitol attack. Prosecutors said he persuaded another minor victim to engage in, quote, sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of the conduct, authorities said. That victim was under 18. It's not clear yet when he might be sentenced. Last year, just before Trump returned to office and gave mass clemency to January 6 defendants, including Daniel, Daniel admitted that he assaulted law enforcement during the Capitol breach. Daniel had been arrested in connection with the Jan 6 attack in November of 2023. Other pardoned Jan 6 defendants have been convicted in other criminal cases, including child... Hold on, 1 second. My YouTube's not coming up. There it goes. Okay. Daniel Tochi had over 100,000 pieces of material of CSAM. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison in March, but remember, he was pardoned by Donald Trump because of Jan 6, and his lawyer actually argued that his January 6 pardon should cover this. Hello.
Hi again. I just wanted to, since we're talking about you stuff, I wanted to show you guys what I just am trying to add on to my background to give you guys some, different, you know, positive stuff, cute stuff, right? To like my little pumpkin octopus.
Oh my gosh. He's so cute. I don't know how to expand
And there's
him, but I
one
can't
more.
see his
Okay. I have to take it down because I just put up the shelf, so I don't want it to potentially
Yeah,
fall off.
fall.
But yeah, it's got another pumpkin in the corner.
Oh, cute.
But one second, I got one more. I
Okay.
gotta take this buddy down.
I'll shrink you so
I don't want him to fall. All right, here's the other one.
Him's my favorite.
Yeah, got two little. This one's super light, so this one can just stay. But yeah, I just put these up, so I'm like, I don't want them to fall.
Is that made out of clay?
Not clay. I don't remember what they said they used, but I can actually. I have their card. I can send you their website because they make more than just this. But they do use polymer. I know that. They use a type of clay, I guess.
Thank you, Tim Beattie, for actually following your Bible by saying that they didn't spend long enough in jail and you're a conservative Christian and you didn't agree with anything on Jan 6. Good for you for actually holding a principle. So again, Daniel Tochi. We had Andrew Paul Johnson was sentenced to life in prison in March after he was convicted of child sex crimes. Florida prosecutors said Johnson tried to silence one of his victims with the promise of money from a January 6th settlement that he expected to receive from the Trump administration. The administration had not committed to make such agreements yet, although the Proud Boys are actively suing our DOJ right now. In Daniel's case, U.S. District Judge Matthew Orso ruled in January that child exploitation is not conduct related to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, and that the pardon's plain language does not apply to the indictment in this case. An attorney for Daniel did not immediately respond to a request for comment. You guys gonna defend that? You're gonna defend Trump's pardons that he did sweeping with an auto pen and he didn't actually individually look into each case or have his team look into each case individually?
Lies. Donald Trump doesn't use the auto pen. How could you lie on my president? I cannot believe you.
You think he sat there and signed 1,500 individually?
He definitely did. He wore his hand out. He was complaining on TV the next day.
That's what the bruise
about
is
how-
from.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the bruise was from. He gripped it too hard, and somehow it created a bruise on the outside of his hand. Everybody like the pretzel in real time?
Pretzel in real time. Creamy, you said literally not. That's another accusation with no facts. No, it's not. Because, whoa, by Ari. I've actively talked to people who don't understand and defend his pardons. Again, it's like if you wanted to look into some of the lesser cases where they actually didn't get on the grounds, they didn't assault any of the other, they just got, excuse me, let me start over. If you wanted to pardon some of the people who just went onto the grounds, didn't assault anybody, didn't damage any property, I could see a pardon for that. I personally wouldn't agree, but I could see a pardon for that. I wouldn't complain about that. But he didn't do that. He didn't have his team. He has an entire team that would look into these clemencies, into these pardons, and pick out the cases that would make sense to pardon. He didn't do that. He pardoned every single one of them. Right, but Creamy, do you still like Trump? Because Trump freed these people so that they could be, they then went on to harm children. Creamy, are you still supporting Trump? Trump was found liable of SA of a woman with 27 other allegations. Are you still supporting him? And he did run on pardoning them all. Okay, so what? That's exactly why, Creamy. Do you see that? That comment right there. Okay, so what? Pardons were justified because they already did time for those crimes, which did not cover any other crimes. That's not true, Creamy. No! Some people hadn't even gone to trial yet. They did not serve time, and yet they were pardoned. That's not true. Some of them had sentences that were upwards of 30 years for seditious conspiracy. There were Proud Boys who were planning to murder politicians. They got 30 years in prison. They did not serve that time. pretzel yourself harder to defend a man who helped these fucking pedophiles go harm children. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. He knows them because he is also one himself. I don't know whether to call this funny or not. I called it rage bait. This is how we're going to end today. This is Rick Scott talking to Joe Kernan on the Squawk Box. I think it's kind of funny. Let's listen to him.
I mean, what Mondami is doing is
He's not a known sex offender. Creamy. He was found civilly liable of essay of E. Jean Carroll because it was not criminal because of stupid things like statute of limitations. Yeah, he was not labeled as a sex offender because it wasn't criminal. But he was civilly found liable of essay.
Also, defamation cases don't go criminal.
No, and actually it was actually unique on that point is he had threatened defamation against her, but instead she filed a defamation suit against him. But the difference was, and what was unique about it was that the judge said, in order to prove defamation, I need you to prove that the assault happened. And it went in tandem. And she did prove that. It's not like he knew what they were going to do. Then maybe he should have looked into their history instead of pardoning all of them. But here's Rick Scott.
I mean, what Mondami is doing is great for Florida. It's horrible for the people in New York. I mean, now he's going to open up a grocery store. I used to work in grocery stores. Is the government going to run a grocery store? What does the government run well? I can't think of anything the government runs well. All government does is mess up your life.
You are the government! Quit. Quit, Rick. If all the government does is mess up your life, that would mean you are messing up people's lives because you are the motherfucking government, Rick. Quit. Quit. Yeah, Rick Scott is actually admitting to messing up our lives. Good for him. We're fuck-ups. Yeah, he's admitting it. Oh my God. Sorry. My brother must have just come upstairs, but it smells like he took the entire dispensary upstairs with him. Jesus Christ. Bruh. You know those things, the like airlocks in like laboratories? We have to walk through it and you get like blown with air before you come into the house. We need one of those. I need one of those in my house.
Oh, yeah, check BMO.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's gonna say.
W's, big W's. I better see W's. I better see them. Big W's to Oya for the $40 on the Blue app. I don't know. I'm gonna try and... Can you guys... Oh, no, I can't really see it. Can you guys see the fucking dancing gif that she sent in this shit?
Sorta.
There you go. You can see it better. I was just blocking her name. She sent that with, I love you, cuh, and that's on Crip.
I can't.
She had to make sure the context was there. So W, yeah, for the 40.
Oh yeah, I'm doing another face mask you got me.
Ay. She's trying to get me canceled. That's what she's trying to do.
Welcome to my world.
It wouldn't be very hard. I'm a white woman. You could probably find a reason.
Agreed with me, but not with, you know.
For you to pull up.
What?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
Sort of. No.
Okay. So I put an article in your live chat for you to pull up. There's a conveniently state-run grocery store in Florida.
Why did you? Okay, cool. But why did you put it in the birthdays chat?
Oh, because I'm a boomer. Bye. Happy birthday, grocery store.
I can't even. Hold on. I'm trying to get this shit.
That is too funny. Did I really?
Yeah, you really put it. I was like, where did you put it in birthdays?
I was wondering why the last chat said April 24th.
Cheeky because mail.
Go away. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to put it in the live chat where it's supposed to go. And then I'm going to delete it from the birthdays.
Eli, I'll check my main chat in a second.
Why? Okay. Shit.
Jesus Christ, I'm a cracker.
Baldwin's unusual town-owned and operated grocery store is coming to a close in March. The town of Baldwin made national headlines in 2019 when it opened its own grocery store after the only for-profit grocer in town closed and residents lost what many take for granted, a convenient spot to roll a shopping cart down aisles and return home with bags of fresh food. A Baldwin resident enthused at the time that the Baldwin Town Council's willingness to fill the void can be said to be only in Baldwin. I am hometown proud. The town-run store, called Baldwin Market, has struggled for years, however, to reach the break-even point. Now it's on a path to close next month. I'm very sad to see it, said Baldwin Mayor Sean Lynch. The last day is scheduled to be March 18th for shoppers to pick up fresh produce, homemade pies, assorted meats in sizes ranging from a serving to a caseload, and all the other staples that end up in pantries. With a population of about 1,400 in a rural part of southwest Duval County, Baldwin lacked the customer base to sustain a for-profit grocer business in recent years. Closing the town-owned grocery store will require residents to hit Interstate 10 for miles-long drives to McClenny in neighboring Baker County or to the Jacksonville suburbs for grocery shopping. Giving residents a closer-to-home choice was the driving force behind Baldwin getting into the grocery business on September 2019, a year after IGA pulled out of a 10,000-square-foot building in the middle of Baldwin on Lima Street. It was an unusual strategy. Other cities such as Jacksonville have used tax incentives to bring grocery stores into food deserts, the name for areas that lack access to affordable, healthy food. So what they did is they made the taxes cheaper so that big names could come in. The city of Jacksonville provided an $850,000 grant for Winn-Dixie to open a supermarket in Gateway Town Center in Northwest Jacksonville in 2020. The city also worked with the Jacksonville Transportation Authority on a door-to-store program for people to book transportation to supermarkets outside of their neighborhoods. Baldwin was one of the few cities anywhere in the country that took that goal a step farther and actually ran its own grocery store. The employees of Baldwin Market are on the city's payroll, and the town covers the store's day-to-day expenses. The concept drew national media attention with the coverage in the Washington Post and on Fox Business, but making it financially sustainable proved to be a high hurdle. Lynn said the Baldwin Town Council decided it wasn't possible to keep running losses in what he calls a very tough business, because you're competing with the big name stores still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bullshit. They shouldn't have to drive to get their groceries.
Nope.
Okay. You had one job. Alrighty. On that note, are you going live again, or did you finish?
I showered.
I showered.
I got some new lotion. I'm gonna do a face mask, and then I'll probably take a walk.
Okay, so
Finish? Question mark? Yes, I did finish.
Finish. Like, look in the eyes. Look in the eyes.
I did.
Let's go raid Lainey.
Lainey.
I'm gonna raid Lainey.
Lainey.
I don't know what you guys are talking about in YouTube. I was reading.
I think you said Vimo.
Chicky! That's why you did the eyeball emoji.
Did she say finished?
She said, you can finish now.
Oh!
Ooh, Chicky. W, Chicky, for allowing me to finish.
On already, Chicky. How'd you know?
W, Chicky, for allowing me to finish. I appreciate it so very much when I am allowed to finish, because I don't like being pent up. It's not a good feeling to me at all.
Not the edging.
Yeah, I don't like being edged. No, not a fan. That's not for me. No, thank you. Don't like it.
I will edge men though.
I will edge men.
Everyone should edge all male content creators with their goals.
So before we raid Lainey, though, let me get all my thank yous in again. So Chicky, thank you, Chicky. Thank you, Oya. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Dragon's Kilt. Thank you, MBM Dr. Kelly. And I have to go to... That's not the right one. Hold on. My gosh. It's being silly. Thank you, 13 Dot. Thank you, Juicy Juice Godfrey. Thank you, Justin. And thank you, Rhett. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys knocked the fuck out of that goal today. So I think we all can finish today. I think that's what I've decided. You're allowed. Go ahead.
Okay, so delayed gratification is not a thing there. No, Eli!
I mean, I guess, Eli, if you want to flick the tip to, like, stop yourself, that's on you. I'm not doing that, but, like, that's...
That shit never makes... No. It's gonna be another thumbs question again.
It will be another thumbs question. That is what's gonna happen. Stop it.
What do you mean you flick to stop? I'm confused.
To slow it down. Because it's pain. No?
So I have this new lotion. It's called Fresh and Cozy. And it reminds me of the pink cozy body spray.
Ooh.
Look at me, guys. A white woman fucking putting lotion on is crazy.
So my plan tomorrow is to get into more of the Russell Vote stuff because they talked to him about cuts because of the big beautiful bill, which I also have a clip about Nagoose because for some reason they're trying to rename it. I don't know if you've noticed that, Olive, that Mike Johnson and them are like trying to rename the OBBBA to the like Working Families Tax Cut bill, and that's not what the fuck it's called. I don't know what that's about.
I didn't know that Congress could just rename things randomly and on just a whim.
They're just trying to sell it because midterms are coming up and it's not working. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into Russell Vote being asked about cuts to NIH and just about budget cuts in general as they're trying to increase the military budget. So I will get more clips on that and we will talk about that tomorrow with whatever other fuckery we're getting. Olive, I'm going to drop you down my level. You write defend us trans in the chat so we can pin it.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
So we're going to go on TikTok. We're going to raid Lainey. So that means YouTube and Twitch. I apologize. We're not going to be raiding anybody today unless you would like to come onto TikTok and come listen to Lainey. Lainey doesn't do debates. Lainey does information. Lainey has a very calm space. And if I send you, so I'm going to say that there are 71 of you in here. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm going to fucking tell you. We do not go into Lainey's space and disrespect it. We go in. We send our heart me's. We say Monty raid. We accomplish goals. Gift goals and tap goals. We accomplish the good things and we support Lainey, but we do not disrespect Lainey's space. I will not have it. So go in, do a Monty raid for Lainey, and enjoy some calming space. Hang in there for at least a minute or two, and then you can move on if you want to move on to more blood sport, more debates. I get it. I didn't get any callers. They're a bunch of fucking pussies. I don't know what to tell you about that. I literally just now turned the phone line off. They're a bunch of pussies. Don't know. But we will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Spend time with friends and family. Drink water. Do something nice for yourself. Have a nice treat. And step away when you need to. It is a lot, which is why I like Lainey's space. Because it's an educational space. And it's a wonderful space to be in. X, you said I have a potty mouth. Fuck you, you motherfucking cunt. All right, guys. Go raid Lainey. Monty raid to Lainey's. I love y'all. Bye.